Aloha, welcome. My name is Katie, and today we're going to work on our pectoral muscle stretches, some psoas stretches, and a bit into our quads as well. So for today, for class, all you'll need is your mat. And if you like to practice with blocks, you can go ahead and grab those as well. And that's all you need. So let's get started in child's pose. Big toes touch while your knees are opening out wider. So we'll take a wider kneed child's pose this time. So knees are out wide and your arms will stretch long out in front of you. Let your hips press back towards your heels. And just close your eyes here once you settle into your child's pose. So just know that this pose is always available to you at any point during the class. You can always come into a child's pose if you feel like, well, this pose isn't serving me today. You can always come into child's pose if you just want to take a little breather and come back and center in here on the mat. So as you close your eyes here, just begin to feel your hips press back towards your heels, emphasizing that stretch through the inner hip and low back. Feel that nice stretch down through the quads as your knees just open out slightly towards the outer edges of your mat. Feel your shins ground down in towards the earth. Feel your heart melt towards the mat as your shoulders just relax a little bit more. And begin to stretch those fingers a little bit more forward so you lengthen through your spine as the point between your eyebrows just rests on the mat. And let's begin to focus on our breathing here. So inhale deep in through your nose, so much so that your belly presses in towards your inner thighs. And as you exhale, let that breath completely go out through the nose. Deep breath. Let that inhale travel all the way down to the base of your belly. And then let that exhale fully release. Belly retracts back towards your spine. Go ahead, continue your deep breath in through the nose. Fill the belly, fill the lungs. And your deep exhale out, let your belly retract back towards the spine. Just cultivating that ujjayi breathing. Breathe at your own pace now, in through the nose, filling your belly up like a balloon. And that exhale, fully releasing everything out. Try to lengthen this breath as much as you can. So it would be about 5 seconds on your inhale. Maybe a pause at the top, and about 5 seconds on your exhale with a little bit of a pause on the bottom. So staying in your child's pose, continuing to breathe in and out through the nose, just begin to bend your elbows and take your palms together. Let your thumbs travel back towards the nape of your neck, so you're really bending your elbows deeply. Keep your palms together so you'll feel a nice stretch through the triceps, through the lats.
Still pressing those hips back towards your heels, getting deep in towards your hips. And let's take 2 more breaths here. If there's an intention that you would like to set for your practice, now is a great time to begin to settle in on maybe why you came to the mat today. That's always a good place to start for an intention. Okay, now let's release those hands back down out in front. And begin to walk your hands up towards your knees. Good. Close your knees together gently and come all the way up till your palms are on your thighs. Good. Now let's inhale, reach our arms up to the sky, look up, create length through your fingertips. As you exhale, take your right arm down by your side, reach over to the right, roll your left shoulder back. Good. Maybe even look up towards the sky, spiral your rib cage slightly towards the ceiling. Good. Inhale, reach both arms up to the sky, lengthen. And as you exhale, take your left arm down by your side, reach over to the left, roll your right shoulder back. Pull your ribs in even though you're spiraling your heart towards the sky. Good. Inhale, both arms rise high, reach up, look up. Now as you exhale, bend your elbows, drop your head back. Take a tiny little back bend here. Just feel your shoulder blades squeeze towards one another, opening your heart towards the sky. Good. Big breath in, reach your arms high. Now as you exhale, extend your arms forward, shift forward into your tabletop position. Let your shoulders just stack right over your wrists, hips over your knees. Let's begin our cat-cow breathing. Inhale. Roll your shoulders back, tilt your tailbone to the sky, look up high. Exhale, curl back up and in, arch through the spine, press your mat away. Inhale, cow pose, shoulders back, tailbone high, look up. Exhale, cat pose, curl up and in, tuck your chin. Take about 2 to 3 more rounds at your own pace. Just let yourself undulate through your spine, moving through each vertebrae. Maybe pausing at any moment that feels right. You can even begin to take a few head and neck circles. Just take one ear towards one shoulder, opposite ear, opposite shoulder, and just kind of work in towards your spine, your shoulders. Good. Let's take one more full round wherever you are. Just feel that nice opening through the heart, all the way down through the tailbone. And let's all meet in a nice neutral spine. So let's gaze down between the thumbs. Take an inhale in, and an exhale. Just find that neutral spine. Next inhale, you'll reach your right arm all the way up to the sky. Roll your right shoulder back, look up. Good, and let's thread the needle. So just slide that right arm underneath. Let's just tap our right shoulder down on the earth. We'll inhale, rise right back up. Inhale, reach your right arm all the way back up. Expand through the heart. Good, exhale, thread that right arm through. Just tap your right shoulder down. One more time, inhale, reach it up high. Now this time as you exhale, let's thread that right arm through and stay down low. Let your right shoulder melt towards the mat as your hips press back evenly. Your left elbow can be deeply bent, but if you want more in that shoulder, you can take your left arm, reach it up to the sky, and then maybe even tuck it behind your back around the front of your right hip. And that'll get a little bit deeper in the shoulders. Head and neck is relaxed down on the earth. Beautiful. If you tucked your left arm, begin to rise that left arm to the sky. Lower your left palm to the earth. Press down as you inhale. Reach your right arm up, open out. Stack your shoulders. Exhale, tabletop position. Pausing in the middle. We'll switch sides. So inhale that left arm to the sky, reach it up high, roll your left shoulder back, look up. And as you exhale, thread that left arm through, let the left shoulder place down on the mat, and then inhale, rise right back up, open out, roll your left shoulder back. Exhale, thread that left arm through. Good, one more time, inhale, reach that left arm up to the sky. And exhale, thread it through, this time staying down low. Let that left shoulder melt down. So your right elbow is deeply bent right now, and if you want more in that right shoulder, feel free to extend that right arm to the sky, and then reach it behind your back to find the front of your left hip. Let your right shoulder peel back so you really feel a nice deep stretch through the shoulder blades and even through the front of that right shoulder. Nice job. As you inhale, reach that right arm back up to the sky if it was tucked. Lower that right palm down, ground down firmly, and then inhale, that left arm reaches high, open out wide. And release that left hand down to the mat. Come back into our tabletop position. Good, so let's take an inhale, extend our left leg straight back behind us. Good. So press that left heel back, flex that left foot. Ground in towards those palms, engage through your core. Now if this is okay, take an inhale, extend your right arm forward. Counterbalance, beautiful. Now engage through your core, press down into that left hand and right knee. Let's begin to bend our left knee. Good, so bend your left knee as if you're trying to take your heel towards your left glute. You can stay right here. If you want more, you can take your right hand, reach back, maybe you find that left foot behind you. There it is. Now begin to roll your right shoulder back and gently kick into your right hand. The trick here is to really ground into that left hand and right knee so you can lift up and open the heart. One more breath here. Good, gently release that back foot, extend your right arm forward, create length. And lower hand and knee down, we'll switch sides. So as you inhale next, extend your right leg straight back behind you. Flex your right foot, engage through your core. And if this is okay, you want more through that balance, you can extend that left arm forward. Big inhale in, reach. Good. Pull in through your low belly. Find your ground here, so really press into that right hand and left knee. If you want more, you can begin to bend your right knee. Reach back with your left hand, slowly, maybe you grab a hold of your ankle. Good, if you grab a hold of your ankle, ground down as you begin to kick into that left foot. Or right foot, I'm sorry, left hand. Lift through your heart, open your heart forward, big breath in, really ground down to lift up. Nice work, guys. Gently release, extend that right leg back, left arm forward, create length. And then slowly lower your hand and knee down. Come back into your tabletop position. Take a full breath in here. Good. As you exhale, extend your arms forward, melt your chest down towards the ground. Come into Anahatasan Asana or puppy dog pose. So your hips are high. So your hips are right over your knees. Yeah, good, that's it. Gaze forward. Let your heart melt down. Now as you inhale, begin to shift onto your forearms. Slide your knees back. Pull your heart through. Come into Sphinx Pose. So your elbows are just slightly in front of your shoulders as you pull your heart through. Shoulders roll down your back. Good. Now as you lower your heart down, tent your fingers to the outside of your mat, elbows high and outside. Begin to roll one shoulder back at a time. Free-flowing cobra. So just circle into the shoulders, side to side, maybe even stretch through the sides of the neck. Turn your chin towards one side and then the other.
Dip one shoulder down and then the other. Feel a nice twist. Kind of get all those crackles and pops out, especially if it is early in the morning. Okay. Now let's come back through center. Lower your heart down. Take your hands right under your shoulders. Pull your elbows in. Look slightly out in front of your mat. Take a big breath in. Lift your heart, Cobra Pose. So we're just staying down in a baby cobra. Heart presses forward, tops of the feet root. Good. Tuck your toes behind you. Exhale, press your hips back towards your heels. And then lift your hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. So we're in our first downward dog of the class. Begin to pedal through your feet. Take whatever motions or movements you need to kind of settle into your downward dog here. So that might be shifting up over the toes. It might be lifting a leg. It might be bending one knee and then the other. Whatever it is, just let your body move into those little fidgets, into those cat-like stretches. Once you do settle into your downward dog, take your time. But your hips will be hips, your feet will be hips width distance. Hands will be shoulders width. So take a look at your feet. Your heels are traveling towards your mat, if not already on the mat, just so that you can feel that stretch through the backs of the legs. Your hips are the highest point on your mat, so feel them press high to the sky. Your heart is pressing towards your thighs, shoulders roll down your back. Engage through those arms, so you're really grounding in towards your palms, spreading your fingers wide. Let's take one more breath in our downward dog. Big inhale in. And exhale it out. Once you have empty breath, bend your knees, look forward to the top of your mat, and just begin to step your feet all the way up until your feet come between your wrists. Bend your knees a lot here. Grab a hold of opposite elbows, ragdoll arms. Just relax your head and neck in that window that you've created with your arms. Maybe a nice sway side to side. So with your knees deeply bent here, you're allowing the low back to elongate all the way up through the cervical vertebrae up into the head and neck. Let your elbows feel heavy down towards the earth. That'll allow the lats to lengthen and relax. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Just let this feel good. Let it feel heavy through the spine. Nice. Last breath. Let's release those hands down to the earth. Bend your knees even deeper. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Begin to ground in towards your feet as you unravel your spine all the way up to standing. Let your chin tuck towards your chest. Head and neck will be the last to rise up. Let your shoulders shrug way up towards your ears. And open them down your back. Palms face forward. Ground through your feet equally. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, extend up high. Now as you exhale, take your right arm down by your side, reach over to the right, roll your left shoulder back. Inhale, back through center, reach your arms high. Exhale to the left, let that left arm reach down your left leg. Inhale, back through center, arms high. Exhale, bend your elbows, drop your head back, tiny back bend. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, soften your knees as you swan dive forward all the way down to your toes. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen up, halfway lift, Ardha. And as you exhale, take your hands down to the mat. Step your feet back, high plank pose. So in your high plank pose, it's like an upward push-up. Your shoulders are right over your wrists. Heels are energetically pressing back as you engage through your core. Big inhale in.
Now as you exhale, just take those knees down to the mat. Walk your hands forward, melt your chest down towards the earth. Puppy dog pose. Feel your hips rise high. Good, yeah, so those hips are right over the knees. You're tilting your tailbone high. Inhale, shift onto your forearms. Slide your knees back, pull your heart through. Lift through your chest. Sphinx pose. Good. Lower your chest down, exhale. Hands tent to the outside of your mat. Inhale, roll each shoulder side to side. Take another full round of breath, just circling to those shoulders. You can even bend one knee and look back towards the toes. Nice. Let's come back through center. Hands right under your shoulders. Pull those shoulders back, elbows back. Inhale, Cobra Pose. Lift through your heart. Exhale, tuck your toes. Hips to your heels. Lift your hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. And full breath out. Let it go. Bend your knees, look forward, step or hop to the top of your mat. Take your feet all the way up until they come between the wrists. Inhale, let's lengthen halfway up, lift, flat spine. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees deep, tuck your chin. Let's unravel, come all the way up to standing, one vertebrae at a time. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. And open them down your back. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Look up, create length. Exhale, right arm down by your side. Reach over to the right. Roll that left shoulder back. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, left arm down. Reach over to the left. Good. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, bend your elbows, drop your head back, lift your heart, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, soften your knees, swan dive all the way back down towards your toes, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose, take a breath in. Exhale, lower your knees, walk your hands forward, puppy dog pose, tilt your tailbone to the sky. Inhale, shift forward onto your forearms, slide your knees back, Sphinx pose. Lift through your heart, spread through the collarbones. Lower your heart down, tense your fingers to the outside of the mat, elbows high and outside. This time, bend those legs, look back to your toes. Get a little bit deep in those quads. Twist side to side, maybe even into the head and neck. Really free the shoulders. Good. Let's come back through center. Lower your heart down, hands out into the shoulders. Inhale, lift your heart, Cobra Pose. Exhale, tuck your toes, hips press back to your heels. Lift your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Bend your knees, look forward, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen up, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Take your feet together, bend your knees deeply. Swoop your arms up to the sky for chair pose, Utkatasana. So feel your weight pull back and towards your heels. Shoulders roll back so that your biceps are right by your ears. Good. Get low in those legs, squeeze through your inner thighs. Beautiful. Now take an inhale in. As you exhale, reach your arms back behind you, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, reach back. This time, interlace your fingers behind your back. Peel your shoulders down and away. Lift your heart, look up slightly. And then as you exhale, begin to forward fold over your legs. Keep your hands interlaced. Relax your head and neck. Getting a nice shoulder stretch all the way down through those hamstrings. Your knees can be bent as much as you need here. Relax your head and neck, maybe even shake it out, yes and no. Let this feel good through the shoulders and the heart. One more breath here. Good, now let's release those hands down to the mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Take a big breath in. Now as you exhale, we're gonna lower down through chaturanga. So take your time as your elbows stay tight in towards your body, lower halfway. Inhale, scoop through, roll over to the tops of your feet, roll your shoulders back, lift through your heart, upward facing dog. Good, exhale, roll back through your toes, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Now as you inhale, extend your right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open so you feel a nice deep stretch through the front of your right hip. Reach that right knee high and let's take a few hip circles. So hug your right knee deep in towards your chest, open it out to the right and around. Hug your right knee in, open to the right and around. One more time, hug in, open out to the right and around. Big breath, reach that right knee high. Now as you exhale, hug your right knee to your chest. Place your right foot to the top of your mat and lower your back knee down. Good, so make sure your ankle's right underneath your knee as you inhale, come into your low lunge. Good. So everybody tuck your tailbone down. Really feel the stretch through the front of your left psoas. That's that left hip muscle. Relax the shoulders, but lift through your heart. Now take your left hand, place it between your shoulder blades. So you're bending your left elbow. You can see that, good. Take your right hand, place it on top of your left elbow. And just let your fingertips kind of crawl down between your shoulder blades as you pull your elbow closer towards your forehead. Relax your shoulders down your back. Slight tuck of your tailbone. Lift through your heart. Good. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. We'll switch sides. So your right hand will come between your shoulder blades. Left hand to the top of your right elbow. Begin to pull that elbow closer towards your face as that right hand kind of crawls down between your shoulder blades. You should feel a deep stretch in that right tricep all the way down into the lat. Keep your tailbone tucked in, deep stretch through that hip still. Nice work. Now let's inhale both those arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinge forward as you lengthen your right leg, hands down towards the earth, flex your right foot, half splits. So as you're here in half splits, you can always have your hands on your hips. You can have your hands on blocks on either side of your shin, or even on the earth. Wherever you are, flex that right foot. Lengthen your heart forward, one more breath. And exhale, fold it in. Good, let's inhale, shift forward into a low lunge. Tuck your back toes. Send your right leg all the way to the sky through three-legged dog. Just reach it up high, stretch it out. And lower that right foot down to meet the left. Downward facing dog. Let's switch sides. Inhale, left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend your left knee, stack your hips open. Keep your shoulders squared off as you ground through those palms. Now let's take those hip circles. Hug your left knee in towards your chest. Open out to the left and around. Take those big circles, get into that hip, hugging in. out and around. One more time, hug in, open out, and reach that left knee high. Extend with a big breath in. Exhale, hug your knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of your mat. Lower your right knee down. Inhale, reach your arms high into your low lunge. So for your low lunge, tuck your tailbone in so you feel that stretch through the front of your right hip. While your arms are reaching high, lift through your heart. Now let's move into that tricep stretch. Right hand between the shoulder blades, left hand to the top of your right elbow. Good, let those hands crawl down the shoulder blades, lift through your heart, maybe even look up to the sky slightly. Slight tuck of your tailbone. Deep breath in. Stay with your breath. Gently release. Let's inhale our arms to the sky. Exhale, bend your left elbow. Reach to find that left elbow with your right hand. Good. Slight tuck with that tailbone so you're still deeply stretching in towards that right psoas. Lift through your heart. Nice work. Deep breath. Now inhale, both arms rise up to the sky, reach up. As you exhale, begin to hinge your hips back, lengthen your left leg, folding towards your left leg for half splits pose. Inhale to lengthen your heart forward. Your hands might be on your hips, maybe on blocks beside you, maybe on the earth. Wherever you are, you flex that left foot so you really feel that stretch through the belly of your left hamstring. Good. One more breath. Let your exhale drive you deeper in towards your leg. Now as you inhale, shift forward onto that left foot. Tuck your right toes. Send your left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Reach it up high, stretch it out. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Look forward, bend your knees, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Exhale, fold back in, feet together, bend your knees deep. Inhale, chair pose, reach your arms high. Exhale, swoop your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Inhale, open your heart forward. Exhale, forward fold with those hands interlaced. You can even be holding on to a towel or something else like that if you cannot interlace the hands. Good, release your hands down to the earth. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Take an inhale in. And then exhale, chaturanga, keep those elbows in close, lower halfway. Inhale, scoop through, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Good, let's take a full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, three-legged dog, right leg high to the sky. Bend your right knee, stack it open. Exhale, let's take one hip circle. So hug your knee in, out and around. Big breath in as you reach your right knee high. Exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Place your right foot to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise into a low lunge. Exhale, left hand behind your back, right hand to the top of your left elbow. Lift through your heart. Good, inhale, extend both arms up to the sky. Exhale, right hand behind your back, left hand to your right elbow. Lift through your heart. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the earth, hips press back, flex your right foot, fold in. Inhale, shift forward, low lunge, tuck your back toes, right leg to the sky, three-legged dog, bend your knees, stack your hips open, stretch it out. Lower your right foot down to meet the left. Inhale, left leg to the sky, bend your left knee, stack your hips open. Exhale, let's take that one hip circle, hug in. Open out and around. Big breath to lift that left knee high. Exhale, hug it in, place it to the top of your mat. Lower your right knee down. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, the right hand behind your back. Grab a hold of that elbow, lift your heart. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. Exhale, switch sides. Good, bend that left elbow. Inhale, both arms high. Exhale, hands to the earth, shift your hips back, flex that left foot, fold in, relax your head and neck. Inhale, shift forward into low lunge, tuck your back toes, left leg to the sky, three-legged dog, reach it high, bend your left knee. And lower your left foot down to meet the right, downward facing dog. Take a full round of breath here. Full round of breath out. Now as you inhale, shift forward into high plank pose. Keep your hips in line with your shoulders. Take an inhale in. As you exhale, let's lower all the way down to the earth. Take your time. Softly lower. Good. Untuck your toes. So we're gonna work into our pectoral muscle even deeper than we have been. So we're gonna take our right arm out in a 90-degree bend. So it's like a half goalpost. Bradley's gonna get mad at me in a second. So we're gonna have that right arm in a 90-degree bend. Our left hand is right underneath our left shoulder. So press down into that left hand and begin to roll onto your right shoulder. You can bend your right knee and place it down on your mat as well. Good, yep, that's it. So it's a bit deeper than some stretches that we've done before in class, just because our right arm is in a 90-degree bend. So it takes it it's more direct into our pectoral muscle. So keep your head elevated. Deep breath in. And if there weren't a furry friend, my left foot would be on the ground. Good, let's slowly roll back onto the belly. So come back onto your belly, we'll switch sides. So your right hand will come right underneath your right shoulder. Left arm will be out in a 90-degree bend to the left, palm faces down. So you really wanna make sure that elbow's in line with your shoulder. Press down into that right hand as you roll onto your left shoulder. So you should feel this deep in that left pectoral muscle. Your right knee might bend and come behind you on the earth. Good, that's it. Keep your head and neck elevated. This is pretty deep into the front of that left pectoral. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. One more full round of breath. Good, let's slowly roll onto our belly. Take your left forearm parallel with the top of your mat. Lift through your heart. Bend your right knee. Reach back with your right hand to find the inside of your right foot. Keep your knee in line with your hip. Begin to pull your right heel close towards your right hip. Good. So you can lift up, press your heart forward. So you'll feel this in your shoulder as well as your quadricep. Press your heart forward, lift through your heart, deep breath in. Good, let's switch sides. So slowly release your right foot, right forearm to the top. Bend your left leg, reach back with your left hand to find the inside of your ankle. So that right forearm props you up so you can lift through your heart as you begin to pull that left heel close towards your left hip. Good. So you should feel this in your shoulder just as much as you feel it in your quads.
guys look great. Deep breath. Just make sure that knee stays in line with your hip. Good. Let's gently release that left foot. And let's tent our hands to the outside of our mat. Elbows high and outside. Give yourself a nice circle side to side. Just work into the shoulders once more, maybe even the quads once more. If it feels good, to kind of lengthen up, bend both legs and reach your head towards your toes. Get really deep. Twist side to side. Notice how much this pose has changed throughout the class. Things are opening and releasing, hopefully. Good, let's come back through center. Hands under your shoulders. Bend your knees. So you have a couple options here. Flex through your feet, and you can take your hands behind your back to interlace. This is option one, where you reach back, open your heart forward, keep your thighs planted on the earth. Option two will be full floor bow. For that, grab a hold of the insides of your ankles, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Again, keep your knees in line with one another, so you do not want them to splay out. You want them parallel. Once you grab a hold of those feet, take an inhale, lift through your heart, kick into your hands, floor bow. Good. So you can choose whatever option you want. You can have those hands interlaced behind, but if you can find those feet, stay with it. Lift up, lift up. Good. Now slowly release everything down. Take both hands down to the earth, forehead to the backs of your hands, and just begin to sway your hips side to side. Feel that nice release through the spine. Good. Inhale, begin to lift up. Take your hands right under your shoulders, tuck your toes, press your hips back towards your heels. Lengthen through that low back. And then shift forward, tuck your toes, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale your right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. As you exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Place your right foot to the top of your mat. We're coming into warrior two, so keep that back knee lifted. Spin your back heel down. Inhale, windmill open. Warrior two. So in your warrior two, you're deep in your front knee. Let it open out to the right so that you can see your right big toe. Relax through your shoulders. And now listen closely. Take those hands behind your back, interlace. Lift through your heart and begin to bow towards the inside of that right leg. So it's almost like you're reaching towards the top left corner of your mat. Relax your head and neck. This should get deep in your hips and your shoulders. Stay deep in that front knee. Beautiful. Now release your hands to the mat. Crawl your hands as if you're reaching out to the top left corner. Good, so it's just a big reach. Keep your legs exactly as they are. Now begin to walk those hands all the way towards your left foot. We're gonna come into Skandasana or side lunge. So walk your hands all the way to the back of your mat. Bend your left knee. Good, so your left knee is deeply bent. Getting those hips low. Yeah, beautiful job. That right leg can be long or your hands can be on the earth. Hips in line with your heart. Good. Now slowly bend back into your right knee. Walk your hands all the way to the top of your mat. Spin your right toes forward. Lower your back knee down. Good, so we're back at the top of our mat. Heel toe your right foot out to the right for lizard pose. Hands are right under your shoulders. Lift through your heart, shoulders back, big breath in. Now you can stay right here. If you want to go deeper in your hips, you can always come down onto your forearms or even onto your block, or just bend your elbows slightly, getting deep into that hip. So that right foot is almost off of the right side of your mat, and it's okay if you're on the outer blade of your foot there so that your hips open out more. Relax your head and neck. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Good, now let's slowly come back up onto your palms if you're not already. Heel toe your right foot all the way over to your left wrist. Set up for Pigeon Pose. Let your right knee lower down to your right wrist. Extend your left leg back. So you want that left leg behind you strong and straight, hips square forward. Take your hands by your sides. Inhale, puff your heart towards the sky. Look up. Exhale, begin to bow forward. Melt your heart in. Relax your head and neck down. You might be on your forearms. You might be on your chest. Wherever you are, maybe close your eyes here. And begin to focus on your breath. Maybe come back to your intention. With every breath, you'll feel that left hip press towards your right heel. Getting deeper into those hips and low back. One more breath here. And on your next inhale, begin to crawl those hands up. Lift through your heart. Tuck your back toes. And we'll send that right leg right up to the sky through 3-legged dog. Reach that right leg high. Maybe circle it out. Let it feel good through that right hip. And then lower that right foot down to meet the left. Inhale, left leg to the sky, bend your left knee, stack your hips open. Exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest, place it to the top of your mat. Lower your right heel down, and then we'll inhale, windmill open, warrior 2. So as you come up into your warrior 2, let your left knee open out to the left. Stay deep in the legs. Good. Now, let's take our hands behind our back. Interlace those fingers. You guys got a deep breath in, open your heart. Now, as you exhale, bow to the outer right corner of your mat. So it's like a forward diagonal to the inside of that left leg. You should feel this deep in the hips and shoulders. Really relax your head and neck. Let it feel like a nice brain drain down towards the earth. Good. Now let's release those hands down to the mat. Walk your hands out even longer in that diagonal. So it's like you're reaching towards the top right corner of your mat. Relax your head and neck. Feel length through your torso. Beautiful. Now listen closely. Let's crawl those hands all the way to our right foot at the back of our mat. Spin both toes towards the right side as you bend your right knee. Side lunge, Skandasana. So some people like to keep their back foot down, their left foot down, or you can even point the toes to the sky. Your hips can be in line with your heart, or they can be sinking down low, maybe your hands at your heart. Good, so we're getting deep in the hips no matter what variation you're in. Really deep hip stretch. One more breath. Now lower those hands down. If they were lifted, begin to lift those hips up. Walk your hands all the way to the top of your mat. Turn your left toes forward, spin onto the back toes. Lower your right knee down as you heel toe your left foot off of the left edge of your mat for lizard pose. Hands are right under your shoulders. Lift through your heart, big breath in. As you exhale, you can stay right here on your palms. If you want more in that hip, You can come down onto your forearms or close to it, maybe even on a block. Relax your head and neck. Let that left knee open out to the left. Get deep in your hip. Stay with your breath wherever you are. Good. If you are down on your forearms, begin to make your way up onto your hands if you're not already. And let's heel toe that left foot all the way over to our right wrist, set up for Pigeon Pose. Left knee lowers down to your left wrist. Take that right heel close towards your right hip. Square those hips off. Hands by your sides. Take an inhale, lift through your heart, proud pigeon, open the chest. Exhale, melt your heart forward. Maybe come onto the forearms, maybe down onto your heart. Wherever you are, your hips are square and melting down towards the mat. Stay connected with your breath. Use this last breath to get deep into your posture. And then on your next inhale, take your time. Slowly begin to walk those hands up towards your hips. Tuck your right toes. Send your left leg all the way up to the sky through three-legged dog. Open out. Maybe take some circles. And we'll meet in downward dog. This will be the last downward dog of the class. So let's take a big breath in through our nose and exhale it out the mouth. Audible exhale. Okay. Now as you take your next exhale, lower your knees down to the mat. Keep your knees hips width distance. Take your hands all the way up towards your hips, so come up to standing on your knees. Roll your shoulders down and away, lift through your heart. Open your arms out, take a big breath in, lift your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together, taking a nice gentle back bend here. If you want more, you can take your hands to your low back, tuck your tailbone down, lift through your heart, look up to the sky, press your hips forward, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift through your sternum as you press your hips forward. Gently drop your head back as if it's dropping back into a pillow. Use your core to lift back up through your heart. Sit back onto your heels. Palms face down on your thighs. Close your eyes. Notice if your heart rate went up a little bit. That's normal through those back bends. Good. Now shift forward. Let your legs come out in front of you. So you're sitting down on your sits bones. Flex through your feet. Take an inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Now as you exhale, take your right hand, reach it for your right foot, and then extend your right knee back, lower your left hand down. So you're kind of pulling like a bow and arrow. Yeah, good. So we've kind of already been in a pose just like this when we were in our lizard pose. That gets deep into our hip. We're gonna add a little bit of an extra layer here. Reach your left hand forward. Maybe you grab a hold onto that left big toe. If you don't, that's okay. You might just reach for that shin. but you should feel a nice opposition stretching through your low back and the front of your right hip. Good. Really lift and pull. Good. And now let's switch sides. So let that right foot lower. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, grab a hold of that left foot. Pull that left knee back like a bow and arrow. Right hand might reach for the shin, maybe the big toe on the right side. If you are reaching forward, pull back at the same time that you reach forward. You should feel this stretch deep in the low back. Nice job. Deep breath in. Beautiful work, guys. Gently release your foot down to the earth. Now again, resettle those hips in towards your mat. Flex through your feet. Let's take an inhale. Reach your arms up high. As you exhale, just bow forward. Let your torso just melt towards your thighs. No reaching, no pulling, just melt in towards your legs. Good. Relax your head and neck. Deep breath in and out. Next inhale, gently unravel your spine. Take your hands by your sides. Scoot up towards the top of your mat, bend your knees. Reach your arms out on either side. Slowly make your way down onto your back. Lower your low back down, heels towards your hips. We're gonna make our way into bridge pose. So make sure your feet are hips width distance and parallel. So you don't want your feet out wide, you want them right behind your hip bones. Begin to press in towards your heels and lift your hips to the sky as you shimmy your shoulders up underneath your back. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Press your heart up high. Drive through those heels. Feel space through your heart all the way down to your knees. One more breath in. Gently let this go. So take your time. The low back will eventually touch the earth. Once your low back touches and it's comfortable here, you can begin to take one knee at a time in towards your chest. Give it a gentle squeeze, maybe even a sway side to side. Good, and let's come into our final twist of the class. So let your left leg extend out long in front of you. Hug your right knee towards your chest. Take your right knee over to the left. Right arm out to the right. Keep those shoulders down on the earth. Twist your spine. Keep your breath deep into your low belly. Take your time, slowly come up back through center. Hug both knees deep in towards your chest. Extend your right leg long, hug your left knee deep in. As you exhale, take that left knee over to the right. Left arm out to the left, twist your spine, keep your shoulders down on the earth. Press those shoulders down as you look to the left. Feel your belly expand with your breath. Good. One more inhale. And let's come back through center. Hug your knees deep in towards your chest. Give yourself the biggest hug that you've given yourself all day. Forehead towards your knees. Squeeze up into a tiny little ball. Close your eyes. And as you inhale, thank yourself for coming to the mat today, for taking this time to practice here. Big inhale in, squeeze everything. And exhale, extend your legs out long. Close your eyes, palms face up.
Relax your shoulders. Just allow yourself to melt in towards the mat, to let go of all control. Becoming more aware of your breath. Feel a gentle rise and fall of your belly. Feel a gentle wiggle of the toes and the fingers. Maybe roll off to one side or the other, coming into a fetal position. Take your time. Once you're in that fetal position, you can use your hands as eyes to crawl yourself up into an easy seat. Keep your eyes closed once you come to the top of your mat. And let's inhale, reach our arms up to the sky and create length. And as you exhale, take your hands together all the way down to heart center. Bow your chin. Take a moment here to express gratitude. Choose at least one thing that you are grateful for in this moment, and repeat that to yourself here. And let's honor the light that dwells within each and every one of us. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste. So if you're joining me on Zoom this morning, feel free to stay on and we can chat after class. If you are here on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the little bell to get alerts for when I go live. You can also find more information at Katie Marie Yoga on my Instagram as well. Thank you so much for joining. Aloha.